Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 101 of our Enigmatica 6 Let's Play series. Where today, excuse me if I keep having to clear my throat. For some reason, I just feel like something's stuck. Um, yeah, anyway, sorry if it's annoying. Um, Last episode, we set up this fairly compact sulfur production machine setup here. I went ahead and added a detector to this to set it to only run when we're greater than 128 gunpowder. And I set the importer to only work with redstone signals. So what'll happen is if I change this, say under, it's going to shut off and the gunpowder eventually will run out in here because it'll all get pulled into here. And then we will stop producing sulfur. So that way our, we don't run out of gunpowder at any point in time. So there, we have sulfur being produced. So our next step is to work on getting the fissile fuel. And we are working backwards essentially through our setup here. So we need oxygen and sulfur dioxide. So let's start here. Okay, let's get all the way to the end of the chain. Fissile fuel comes from here, comes from here, comes from here, comes from here. This is our next step. So we are getting a chemical infuser, bam, of oxygen and sulfur dioxide. And sulfur dioxide comes from that sulfur that we just created in a chemical oxidizer. So let's go ahead and get those set up. We're also going to need another electrolytic separator so that we can get oxygen instead of hydrogen this time. So the order of these machines is the chemical oxidizer is going to create the sulfur dioxide, and then the electrolytic separator is going to create the oxygen, and that is going to go into the chemical infuser, which is going to create the sulfur trioxide. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So the output on the chemical infuser is going to be sulfur trioxide. So we're going to have oxygen coming in from one side and sulfur dioxide from the other. How do we want to set this up to make it compact and neat looking while still making sense? What we could do. Okay, let's get the machines and then I will see how I want to lay this out. Okay, so we have a chemical infuser. Control click would make sense. I really should just teach the system how to make all this stuff, but almost there. The steel takes forever. A personal chest is the only thing we don't know how to make here for our chemical oxidizer. Do it. There's the infuser, the oxidizer. Come on. Come on. Personal chest and, oh goodness. Wait, is that the right machine? Yes. And another chemical tank. Bam. Okay. And lastly, another electrolytic separator. And again, like I said, we are producing oxygen over there. I could use that oxygen, but I just I like keeping them separate. So this one is dedicated strictly to this. So you don't have to worry about if for some reason I pull all the oxygen and we need it for something else, and then we end up, screwing ourselves out of the oxygen or the hydrogen or whatever. So what I'm thinking is we could set up the chemical infuser to be, say, like, so we have our chemical oxidizer and our electrolytic separator. What we can do is set these machines up so, like, the electrolytic separator can go here, here, here. The chemical oxidizer can go here. Yeah. So then we can have two. No, we're going to want a gap. That way we don't, have to worry about crossing fluids. Place in the correct direction. So then our outputs will be here, and those can go into the chemical infuser here. So we can have one there, and then our other stuff can come here and be routed into the next machine that needs it. Does that make sense? I hope so, because I think this is how we're going to set it up, except maybe move it over one. Yeah, let's move it over one. That way, I mean, to be honest, that can just stay there as it was. Yeah. So let's get pressurized tubes, because that's going to go here and here, and then here and here. But you are going to be set for gases. Do nothing for the moment. Yes. Okay. That way nothing goes in there. And then this, I also want to set to be, because what is it? What's the gas we're going to need? Oxygen. I think oxygen comes on the right side. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So that's fine. So you are going to be no items. And gases is going to output to the right. The left one is going to do nothing, and that's going to end up dumping excess of the hydrogen. And then you are going to accept items on the left, and you are going to output your gas to the right. Okay, cool. So then we need a exporter, 2 of them, and I need water. Don't know where I got 16 buckets of water, but so we need 2 exporters. We're going to break that one and that one. Exporter, exporter, cables. And go there. And did I really only grab 1 cable? I thought I grabbed the stack. Let's go ahead and create another stack of those, by the way. Okay. So then sulfur dust is going to be exported out into this guy, and he's going to start running with the little power he has. And then you are going to have water, and you'll start running with what little power you also have. Hydrogen is getting dumped, and oxygen is filling into this pipe here. So then we can say the gases, red and red. I'm sorry, that should be orange. There we go. You two are coming in, and we're making sulfur trioxide. Cool. Nice, compact little setup, and I'm happy with it. Okay. So then let's get power to all of these guys. Best way to get power here is going to be another point. And to be honest, this point could go like here, and then I can run a ultimate universal to that one. And then the point can go here on my network, and you are going to be the sulfur trioxide prod. And we have a new machine to mute, the chemical oxidizer. Oxidizer mute. Okay, so you are producing sulfur trioxide, and again, we need speed, energy, and gas. At mech upgrades, speed, energy, gas, speed, energy, speed, energy. This is going to burn through a lot of power right now until I get these energy. I always try and remember to put the energy upgrades first, but I forget. And, oh, you don't take gas upgrades. Lovely. All right, well, you're just going to burn through gas as fast as you possibly can. Hey, open the right inventory, please. Okay, so this is our sulfur trioxide setup. I don't think that looks too bad. We could even make it even more compact by moving this back one, because it doesn't necessarily... Yeah, let's just do that. It's going to ruin what's in those tubes, but... I like compactness. Bam. There we go. And I don't have to have a cable there. So this is our sulfur trioxide. And the reason I set it up this way is because the trioxide is going to have to get piped out. And I didn't want it piped out the front because that doesn't look super duper cool. Okay, so that's those. Back to our fissile fuel. We need hydrofluoric acid is what we're working towards, which is sulfuric acid, which is our sulfur trioxide in another chemical infuser, and water vapor, which comes from decondensating water, which again we have infinity of. So what we need is this chemical infuser is going to feed its sulfur trioxide into a chemical infuser and water to be piped in, and it will turn into sulfuric acid, correct? Yes. So let's get another chemical infuser. Go ahead and make these really quick. And a rotary condensator. Bam. Chemical infuser, almost ready. I'm just going to request the craft of those because it may have used those to make this. Highly possible. And another chemical tank, I guess. Bam. Come on. Bam. No. Bam. Yes. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to have power come out, or the sulfur trioxide is going to come out of here, and it's going to go into the chemical infuser, which we can set up here. Bam. And then the rotary condensator is going to come here. We're going to have water pipe into this guy. Yeah, okay. And both of these are going to need power. So let's get universal cable. Let's get another point. Let's just kick off the crafting of like a stack of them. I forgot. Oh, we're missing obsidian. No, we're not. I remember. When we went into the nether a while ago, I grabbed a bunch of obsidian. Because there were all those obsidian pillars that float in the lava, and I just grabbed all of them that I could. Give me some more, except for one. You can just keep one in there. Yeah, that inventory. Again, remember, it's been 2 weeks since I played, so I keep forgetting to press that button. Anyway, points. Go ahead and craft 64 of them. What do you need for that? Like, are you going to blow through anything ridiculous? No, not really. Power. Give me one for now. Give me what you can make for now, really. Flux point. This is going to be our sulfuric acid production. Okay. So you got power and you've got power. And I put my mineral planks away. I also need an exporter and another bucket of water. Should just keep that bucket of water on me based on how many times I've needed it. So the exporter is going to get set up here, and then cables running from here. Does that connect? We'll find out in a second when I do that. And I have now trapped myself. Where is my shrinking? Let me out. I love that thing. So are you getting water? Decondensating or condensating? Let's see. Did I connect that? No. Hey, that's why it's not getting water. Where is our closest cable? There we go. Bam. You are still not filling up though. Export fluid water. Do you have to have it coming from a specific direction? Water vapor is a decondensating of water. Yes. So decondensating of water. And we need fluids. Oh, there it goes. Okay. We are going to want stack upgrade on that water. And let's get another one. Speed. because we should get on this one too. Though it seems to be doing okay. I'm gonna get it on there anyway. So let's get a stack and speed. Hey, bam. 1 stack, 3 speed, and a stack and 3 speed. Now the sulfur is fine. That one keeps up because the machine isn't the fastest. But this way we just 100% make sure we are always full on water. Okay, well, good thing that the water vapor decided to go out that way because I was not paying attention to my outputs. So yes, output is fine. Bam. Items, you're not getting any. Fluids just on the back. And energy is fine. I just want to make sure that we set this up right. Okay, chemical infuser gases, you're going to input on the right, input on the left. Okay, no items. And then energy is good. So then we need a pressurized tube. And this guy is going to output gases on the front. Perfect. So we pulled into this guy who has got the sulfur trioxide water vapor and is producing sulfuric acid. Exactly what we need. Okay, I did name that point, right? Sulfuric acid prod. Let's get some upgrades at mech upgrades. Speed, energy, another stack of each. Pop those in there. And where's my backpack? Let's put this away. We'll just put that bucket of water away. Any holes I need to fill in with the mineral planks? Not that I can see. Give me a set of those. Oh, did I create gas? I did. Son of a gun. Oh no, I didn't create gas. I have my speeds being created, so I just kicked off another set of energy upgrades that were not necessary, but that's okay. You're bottlenecked by this water vapor until I get the speed upgrades in, but I don't want to put them in until I get the energy upgrades because it's going to take quite a bit of energy. Like I said, not that we're hurting for power or anything, but it's best to be safe, right? There's an anchor upgrade. Oh, it keeps the machine chunk loaded. Filter upgrade is used later when we get into nuclear fusion to get filter water into heavy water. Okay, so energy and speed. And now you should be keeping up. Our bottleneck is our water, apparently. But we're good. And we got sulfuric acid. Okay. So that is sulfuric acid produced. And one thing I always like to do, even though it's not necessary, where is my... Did I put my configurator or morphing tool away? No. Morphing tool. Where are you? There you are. I always like to set these to like what machine they're pulling from. So that way it's not necessarily because the machines will auto output, but for a visual reference, you can see something's coming out of here into here, out of here into here, out of here into here. Does that make sense? Just for visual acuity. So you can glance at it and say, okay, machine's flowing this way. All right, so that was oxygen, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and sulfuric acid. Our next step is going to be hydrofluoric acid. So our sulfuric acid is going to come to a chemical dissolution chamber. And it's going to make fluorite, or need fluorite, and it's going to produce hydrofluoric acid. Fluorite is something that we're going to have to figure out how to make too. Recipe for fluorite is fluorite chunks. Like, is there any sneaky way to get fluorite? Not really. Okay, well. Energized smelter, enrichment chamber. We'll get a 6 from our chunks. Do we have fluorite being processed? Not really. So we can throw that in and get that processed too. But anyway, so next is the chemical dissolution chamber. which is one of the higher tiered mechanism items. As you can see, it does require a lot of diamond and refined obsidian and stuff. So just something to keep in mind as you are coming through this. This is endgame mechanism. And you know what I have not been doing? I have not been picking up the quests. Do these have rewards? No, I don't think so. Second chain, so be sure these materials are automated in some way before starting. Yeah, give me a loot box. What do you give me? Energy and speed upgrades. Oh, you're telling me how to do this. Okay. Okay, so that's not that bad. Okay, so we got sulfur dioxide. We got a chemical infuser. Oh, it wants me to pick it up. Sulfuric acid. So we're here. Well, we're really here. It wants me to pick up these machines. Son of a gun. Which one's the easiest to pick up? Probably this one. Except it didn't work because it's got NBT data. So what is the final reward? Nothing. Okay, so forget it. Make sure you start your quests before. I'd have to make another chemical infuser just to get that quest to finish, and I'm not about that life right now. So just for quests, especially since they have no rewards. So yeah. Anyway, so our chemical dissolution chamber can go here. It's going to need some power. It's also going to need an exporter of fluorite. So let's get an exporter cooking up. And a point. Did those finish? Haha, they did with no issue even. So you are our chemical dissolution chamber, and you are making hydrofluoric acid. Hydro acid prod. Again, just so we know what each machine is doing and responsible for. Let's get our pressurized tube and hook it up to here. So you should have filled up with sulfuric acid. Yes. Gases input only on the left, and you're going to output to the right. Items is going to come from the back. And that's it. We don't have any of that. We don't have any of that. Okay. So then we are going to set up cables. Yeah, I guess. Not there. And we're going to have an exporter to go there. And let's fill in our holes where we can, at least. So you are going to export fluorite. See, I remember at the beginning of this episode, I said this is a long process. Like, it is not a super easy or super cheap process to get to fissile fuel. This is late game mechanism. Luckily, we have all this stuff basically available to us in almost infinite supply, or the ability to make it in infinite supply. So I'm not too concerned about it, but it's a long process to get all of this set up. But anyway, so there is our hydrofluoric acid. So then hydrofluoric acid goes into a chemical infuser again with uranium oxide. Uranium oxide is made with yellow cake uranium in a chemical oxidizer. So we don't need that, but we do need, so we're done here. We need a chemical infuser. So this is going to pipe into a chemical infuser along with uranium oxide. So it's going to come from here. And I guess we can have the uranium oxide here. Yeah, because it just needs yellow cake uranium. Now, yellow cake uranium comes from what again? An enrichment chamber of uranium. Problem with uranium is we actually are using uranium. How much uranium do we have? We got like 17,000 uranium ingots plus. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be okay with uranium. Okay, so let's get the chemical infuser cooked up again. Oh, look, and this will probably finish off this quest since I had to make it anyway. So that is the chemical infuser. Just working on the steel. The steel is the slowest part. And it didn't finish the quest anyway. Whatever. Don't care. And then a chemical oxidizer needs another personal chest. So go ahead and make that. And a basic chemical tank. And all of this stuff. Yes. There's the personal chest. And come on. Come on. I must have used it because that should have been a fairly quick craft. Okay. So there's a chemical oxidizer and a chemical infuser. So the chemical infuser is going to have to sit like, because it's input on the, I mean, it can input really anywhere. And it can really output anywhere, but to make the machine make sense, it inputs like this. Technically that's energy, but whatever. And we can bring it back one, so we only have a one gap. And then the chemical oxidizer can sit here. Are you the front of the machine? I guess so. This is a weird looking machine. So your gas, you are going to output to the left. Right. Let me let's get a, oh, we need a yellow cake uranium. So we need to pop out of here and teach the system yellow cake uranium is made in an enrichment chamber. And then we are going to go down into our mechanism, normal mechanism area, and enriching factory, yellow cake uranium. So now we should be able to request yellow cake. So if I request a stack of that, it shouldn't take terribly too long. There we go. So what we're going to need is an exporter with a crafting card. Upgrade. There we go. And an exporter and that yellow cake is not the fastest production process in the world. Is that speed upgraded? Yes, no? Yeah, you are. Oh, auto sort wasn't on. That'll do it. Okay, so that's that. So let's go back over here. So we got yellow cake uranium taught to the system. So now, oh, I forgot. We need to get access to this machine. Oh, sure, why not? It's starting to not look super duper nice, unfortunately. No, really. There we go. Export yellow cake uranium and keep a crafting card on you. But what we can do is put that in there. Okay, so you are going to create that, but you already dumped your uranium oxide into there. Okay, and then pressurized tube. So this is the red, and red gas is going to come from the back. Okay, hydrofluoric acid, uranium hexafluoride. Okay, so now we just need to give you guys power. And then your respective upgrades. Let's get a point. Universal cable. Uranium hex prod. Uranium hexafluoride production. Cover those holes up. Bam. Upgrades. 2 energy, 2 speed. Okay. So that is now uranium hexafluoride being produced. This is not keeping up. Well, sulfur, not sulfur, yellow cake uranium. You are exporter crafting yellow cake uranium. Items, input. Input on the back. Yes. Yes, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, cool. So then finally, that should be all we need. Uranium hexafluoride. So now all we need is an isotopic centrifuge. And we will have fissile fuel. Make us a basic chemical tank. Isotopic centrifuge. Come on. Come on. We're at the end of this quest chain. Isotopic centrifuge can just go boop right there. I guess you do have a side input, so, and then a pressurized tube. Bam. That is a loud machine. Chemical dissolution chamber, mute. Isotopic centrifuge, mute. Basically everything in Mekanism is muted, so this room is super quiet. But yes, there we go. Fissile fuel is produced. We just need to get a point onto this guy. And bam. Fissile fuel prod. And there we go. That is the question. That is the chain of items needed to make fissile fuel so we can get into a reactor. Last thing we need is Mekanism upgrades. I believe this machine will take gas upgrades. So let's see. So there's energy, speed. No. Any of you take gas? Oh, you'll take gas. Okay, cool. So we'll use less sulfuric acid. Okay. All right, that worked. But yeah, fissile fuel production. So all we need to do is set up a quantum entanglement porter, which I'll do in between episodes, and get this set up because it is wrapping up point. But yeah, we got all the way through to our fissile fuel. So next episode, we can start working on building our reactor and kicking it off and getting ourselves, you know, fission. Yeah, nuclear fission, nuclear power. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate it, and it really does help out the channel. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.